Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for you to be here. I know my setup is a little bit different. My camera's not working. It keeps overheating. I've just been having so many technical difficulties with filming today that I was this close to giving up, but I persevered and this will get done. So to put myself in the mood, cheery mood, I got myself some Starbucks. And what is this? This is peppermint mocha. It's cold now because of my patience. But we're gonna get through this question and answer video. You guys seem to really like these types of videos. A majority of these questions are from Instagram, but some of them are from Snapchat. I'm gonna try to do videos like these every couple of months, just so, you know, it's easy for us to interact, and of course, people always have questions. So I'm gonna pull up the questions. Pop open my pop socket. Zelda asks, not astrology related, but how can we live for ourselves and stay focused? Wonderful question. I believe that in order for us to stay focused, we have to find something that we're passionate about, hands down. But I think if you have a goal for the day or just for the rest of the month, the rest of the year, it becomes easier for us to live. We kind of already signed that contract before we were born. In order to stay focused, I think is to understand that we will never stay focused. We just gotta wake up in the morning, say something to ourselves like, you can do it. Maybe post-it notes, maybe an alert, I'll get myself a nice meal, bada boom, bada bing. Okay, so this question is by Emily Ear, and she says, how to bounce back after a toxic relationship, or just break up in general. I feel like I've been losing myself and I'm trying to find my energy again. How to deal with it is just being incredibly patient with your broken parts. In Japanese culture, they have this thing where they adore broken objects. So what they do is they mix the lacquer with gold or silver. They apply that filling into the cracked parts of the object. It honestly looks so much more beautiful. It has a story to tell, and I think that's what we all really need sometimes when, you know, we're heartbroken. We want to rush it, like we just want to be over it. We don't want to deal with it. We don't want those feelings to resurface. Let life take its course. Let me cry when I need to cry. Let me get angry when I need to get angry, and not question why I'm dealing with these things at the time that I'm supposed to be feeling them. I adore people who are broken because there's something so raw and so vulnerable about it. Exposing yourself is kind of like, it's nice, you know, it shows you that people aren't stone walls. Kings Abby 15 asks, what is your favorite sign to hang out with and why? I really do love hanging out with Leos. They're so much fun. There's so much conversation. Like, you could either be doing nothing or you could be doing everything, and it's just like, it's just a fun time. Like, I just love my Leos. This question is by Desert Mallow. She asks, here's another dumb question that'll probably come across as rude, but here it goes. Are Cancers known as homie hoppers? Meaning they like to date in the same friends group? Like, you'll break up and they'll fuck your best friend. Okay, so what I will say about this is there's this whole theory behind astrology, and like who's a cheater and who's not a cheater, and this will never become a topic of discussion with truth. Because let's face it, every single sign has different needs and wants, and it's either they get it or they don't get it, or they just leave, or they do something that is unforgivable. Cancers are just extremely empathetic. Like, they know how people are feeling, and they know if people like them or not. So if a Cancer isn't being appreciated, they'll hop on to somebody who does appreciate them. To answer your question, it's more likely that Cancers can get uncomfortable quickly. So I would think it would be easier for them to cling on to somebody that they've known for a while, you know, like, because it's so hard to let go. So if someone is in that circle and they cling on to them, it's because they're comfortable. It's because they know them really well. It's because that person knows them really well. It's definitely like a comfort thing. Cancers just love to be comfortable. and they'll find somebody to be comfortable with. The next question is by Tati XOXO, and she says, I'm talking to a Pisces and our conversations are never boring. You know, Pisces never have boring conversations. He pushes me to think on a deeper level, which I like, but sometimes we disagree, and I always feel like I can never be right. Why is this? Okay, Tati, so I will say that Pisces in general love to talk about everything. A to Z, high, low, but if you feel like they're one-upping you or trying to make you feel as if you're in the wrong or you don't know what you're talking about, probably because that Pisces wants to either one, intimidate you and see what you know, so maybe that's you doubling your research or showing your confidence, or two, they really want to impress you. They, you know, they're like, hey, this is my 1 in a million chance to really showcase what I feel and what I know, because most of the time Pisces just doesn't care. This question is by Rachel McKelvey. I'm sorry if I butchered it. She said, would you be able to talk about moon compatibility and when it comes to relationships, like more in depth? I guess what's on more important, Venus, Sun, or Moon? This is a great question. I do have a Venus signs video also on my channel. I will link that in the description box below. But when it comes to relationships and compatibility, two people's charts and see how they fit together, you should look at their moon sign. That's very, very important. Sun sign should be the last thing that you really worry about. I think we are all capable of connecting with one another. Your Mercury really does play a huge part. That's your communication sector. That's how you evolve in a relationship, is by communicating. I do want to look at planet Mars because more so based on sexuality, but something that a lot of people don't talk about, especially in astrology within relationships, is really to look at Pluto. Planet Pluto destroys, and as we all know, people are constantly changing. If you understand that in a person, you will know that their growth process is either similar to yours or different in how you can help them, how they can help you, vice versa. Tasia Sia asks, can you talk about the difference between moon and rising signs? Your moon sign is how you feel within yourself, with other people, how you feel about certain situations, how you feel about life, just everything. It's feel, it's feel, it's feel, it's heart. Your rising sign is also known as your ascendant. So if you hear people talking about, oh, rising and ascendant, it's the same thing. It's your shield, it's your mask, it's how people view you. It's like, it could be, you know, when the first thing you see when you meet a person, their outside personality, like their social personality, their appearance, like what they look like, their hair, their clothes. It's more based on like the physical rather than the moon sign, which is more internal, emotional. Bloody Maz asked, I have moon in Pisces in Scorpio decan. What are your thoughts on that? Now, a lot of people don't know this, but your moons also have decans, just like your sun signs have them. So for decans, there's always 3 of each sign. So fire signs have 3 signs, water signs, earth signs, and air signs. But if you have a moon in Pisces with Scorpio decan, it depends on the degree. My thought on a moon in Pisces with Scorpio decan would be this person is extra sensitive. That degree lies right on water. This person is more likely to be very secretive with their emotions, and it's going to take a lot of effort for them to wear their heart on their sleeve. Okay, so the next question is by Dopey Dana, and she says, how about Venus signs? We were actually talking about it, chit-chatting, and I wanted her to like specify what she wanted me to talk about, but she said she leaves it up to me. So I like Venus. I wish I was ruled by it sometimes because it would give me a better understanding of romance and like love and like how to appreciate and go through life living in harmony. So for example, if you have your Venus in a fire sign, you might be action oriented with your love. Like you'll plan dinner dates and you'll like probably run a marathon together. If you have your Venus in a water sign, you might be more prone to sharing like poems or handwritten love notes. And if it's in an earth sign, you're more helpful, like you show them how to deal with daily tasks every single day. Like you'll clean up after them and this and that. And then what's the last one? Air sign. So Venus and air sign might be, you know, mental stimulation. Like they'll teach you things that you've never learned before, and it's like, it's fun, it's new, it's exciting, like your brain's active. Like it might start off as a friendship level, but it will slowly get to a love level, as they say. Isaac Mommy 209 asked, what's the best advice you would give an Aquarius about how to be patient? Aquarius is just patient because they have to be. I think Aquarians are very patient, and I'm not just saying that because I'm an Aquarius. I just notice a lot of Aquarians, they just tolerate a lot. Like they tolerate a lot of pain, and they have to deal with a lot of people who don't get them or don't want to understand them, and they're always going out of their way to understand other people. If an Aquarius has to learn how to be patient, I would say just isolate yourself as long as you want and don't be sorry for it. So when it's time for Aquarius not to be patient, people get so taken aback by it. They're just like, how dare you? Step out of line. And it's amazing how much they can tolerate, like how they can swallow people's words constantly, and people don't notice that, but the second that they do open their mouth, it's like, it's not okay. Aquarians are always misunderstood anyways, so it doesn't even matter if we're patient or not. Just don't say anything. So ICA asks, how can Aquas and Scorpios make it work? Is it even possible? LOL. And maybe what signs would work better with Aquas? That would be interesting. The comments on this one is funny. There's this huge thing with Scorpios and Aquarius, and like astrologers call it the Scorpion and Aquarius curse, because they're both so similar with hiding their emotions, that when they do get into a relationship, it's like, it's almost as if like, who's gonna break first? Like, who's gonna become vulnerable first? Who's going to fight for the relationship first? Like, it's all first, like who? And neither really wins until one surrenders. It is possible, but it's just a lot of work in order for them to come together and really appreciate one another's presence, or else there's going to be so much conflict, they're going to bite each other's heads off. And what signs would work better with Aquarius? You know, the typical air signs or fire signs, but it's not to say that they can't work with other earth signs or water signs. Monique App asked, I am a Sagittarius with a cusp of Capricorn December 20th. What would be a good compatibility for me? Like, what sign do you think would be good for me? First and foremost, I just want to say that I do not believe in cusps anymore. As I extended my research in astrology, I started to veer away from it. But I do realize that there's some people who still choose to believe in cusps, and that's totally fine. Like, I'm okay with that. I'm not judging. You do believe that you are a Sagittarius and a Capricorn. So I think if you put these two together, an air sign would be the perfect fit, because there's no fixed energy there, though. You need someone that's gonna like fit right in there, understand your need for go and also your need for pause, and I think an air sign would be perfect. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So Marlana Hill asks, I'd love to know more about karma and romantic relationships and love at first sight. So I'm gonna assume that you meant like karmic relationships, because that kind of goes hand in hand with love at first sight. We meet people that we don't like, that we wish we never met them, especially if it's a relationship that has put us through a lot. They do teach us something. I think a lot of relationships do teach us something, but specifically karmic relationships. This is someone that is clashing. I've definitely had this type of relationship. They taught me so much about the eerie parts of my soul that now when I look back on it, I'm like, they shouldn't have been in my life, but they needed to be in my life. D. Blake Champion said, I've seen a lot of your videos and I've learned plenty. Thank you. But I'm lost on certain things also, mainly because I've never heard of such things. For instance, what the hell does Uranus have to do with my ankles? Sorry, I still pronounce it Uranus. It's okay. I do too. So if you look at the zodiac signs, they're in order from Aries to Pisces. So it starts with Aries as the first sign, and it ends with Pisces as the 12th sign. And you can kind of symbolize that as the human body, being that the head is first and the feet are last. Another way to relate astrology to physical embodiment. What better else than to understand yourself even more internally than now you can understand yourself physically as well. Rosalie Collier asks, what were your main go-to sites, books, and anything else to get you started and really understand astrology? And I just want to dig deeper about all of this. Thank you so much, girl. Love the videos. Thank you, Rosalie. I actually went to school with Rosalie, one of the sweetest people I've ever had the chance to meet. I feel like if you really want to learn about something, you're gonna do anything and everything to find out about it. So I used my resources. I used the internet. I asked astrologers. I'd follow like a bunch of them on social media. I'm very interested in, you know, religion and what they have to say about astrology. So it was easy for me to look in the Bible and the Quran and the Torah, how these books referenced astrology. The first book that I read was Eric Meyer's, and it's called Astrology of Awakening. Just so good, like opened my mind completely. I could not put it down. I was like reading it non-stop. It's kind of cool because he also has a degree in psychology, so I just like connected with him really quick. I am a psychology major, so you know, parts of that book talk about you know, therapy and counseling, so it was like really fun for me to see somebody incorporate that with astrology. And that is it, guys. I am so thankful for all your questions. It was really fun doing this. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you learned something from it. I sure did. It was really, really cool to do it. I'll catch you guys in my next video. I hope you guys have a great day, night, wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. As always, stay weird, and yeah, that's it. Okay.